Hello, my name is Jack, and I'm 14 years old. I want to share my story about how bullying started as small teases and escalated to something much worse, and how I finally broke free from it. It all began with jokes. At first, they seemed harmless, just kids being kids. But soon, these jokes turned into constant teasing. Every day, I would hear comments about my clothes, my accent, everything. I tried to laugh it off, thinking it would stop if I didn't show that it bothered me. But it didn't stop. As weeks passed, the teasing turned into outright insults. They'd call me names, make fun of my family, and it was no longer just words. They started shoving me in the hallways, knocking books out of my hands. I felt like I was walking on eggshells every day at school, never knowing when the next insult or push would come. Then, it followed me home. They found me on social media, flooding my accounts with hateful messages. It was like there was no escape. I would dread checking my phone, knowing there would be another message waiting to tear me down. It got to a point where I didn't want to go to school anymore. I'd wake up every morning with a knot in my stomach, making excuses to stay home. I became withdrawn, stopped hanging out with friends, and my grades started slipping. I felt trapped in the cycle of fear and humiliation. The worst part was the thoughts that started creeping into my mind. Thoughts that scared me. Thoughts about how maybe things would never get better. But, one day, I realized that I couldn't let this continue. I was tired of feeling scared and alone. I finally opened up to my best friend about everything. It was hard, but talking about it made me feel like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. My friend encouraged me to talk to a teacher I trusted. I was afraid, thinking it might make things worse, but I knew I couldn't deal with this alone. Talking to that teacher was the best decision I ever made. She listened, really listened, and took immediate action. The school intervened, and slowly, things started to change. The bullying didn't stop overnight, but I wasn't dealing with it alone anymore. I want to say to anyone who's being bullied, please don't stay silent. Talk to your friends, your parents, a teacher, anyone you trust. Don't let fear of what the bullies might do stop you from seeking help. It's tough to speak up, but it's the first step in breaking the cycle. Remember, you're not alone, and you don't have to go through this by yourself. There are people who care about you and want to help. Speaking up can make all the difference. It did for me.